Hey, friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to WrestleJuice. So, Ricky Starks is NXT. That's right. This happened with so much quickness because it was just on Monday that Fightful Select reported that not just Ricky Starks, but also Malachi Black and Miro were all free and clear of AEW. Sorry, Phoenix, not you. You got to stay on your couch or wherever you are. AEW's keeping you for now. In any event, those three names, Ricky Starks, Malachi Black, and Miro, everybody sort of figured, okay, they were going to end up in WWE, but when? Of course, we're on the road to WrestleMania, and also where? Because we're also on the road to Stand and Deliver, and of course, this weekend, Vengeance Day for NXT. If any of those guys are going to end up on the NXT brand, and it seems like that's exactly where Ricky Starks ended up in NXT, because on Monday, it was reported he was released, and on Tuesday, he showed up in NXT. This went very, very quickly, but there's a couple of questions now in terms of what they're going to do with Ricky Starks. Let's take a look really quick at his actual NXT debut. This is how the video is named, the NXT debut that shocked the world. NXT highlights February 11th, 2025. This video is blown up. It's got like over 500,000 views right now. I can't, obviously, for copyright purposes, this is what I can do. I can give you guys like 3 seconds. Here's 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1000. Okay. And then I got to stop because of copyright reasons. You're not allowed to do more than like 3 seconds at a time. The first thing that I love, I just realized looking at this frame right here. There is one particular thing, and if you guys follow me over in Bluesky, you know exactly what it is. There's one particular thing that I absolutely loved about this debut. But one thing I really liked about the debut is basically just how it went down. So essentially, they come out of commercial, or they come out of like talking about some matches that are being set up. Cora Jade was added to the title match for the Vengeance Day thing. And then you just hear a guy say, "Oh man, it's good to be here." And everybody, and then the whole crowd just sort of like, look at this. This could be like a freaking paintings right here. The thing that I love though, look at this dude right here. And this is my MVP of this segment, because everybody else, look at this. It's like a fucking Renaissance painting. All eyes are shooting towards Ricky Starks, and homeboy right here, unimpressed, or doesn't quite know what's going on. I'm going to turn the volume down on this. Oh, well, there he looks. He turns around and pays attention. And so everybody's freaking out over Ricky Starks. And he has some cool things to say, but not once does he mention what his name is. The rest of the crowd know who he is, and they start chanting like, "Ricky Starks, Ricky Starks." He's like, "Oh, you know my name." And then I think he says something like, "You don't know I'm here." It's very Scott Hall, NWO type situation. And so Ricky talks a little bit, looks like $1 million as always, talks about how this is the future of pro wrestling and the future needs to be absolute. And it's pretty great. Everybody's all eyes on Ricky. And I don't know, it just sort of made me laugh because this guy right here taking a picture of him and then just settles in on his phone. You guys, listen, I'm not going to dog too much on this fella because you know what? He's just doing his thing. But it's wildly hilarious to watch a fan just be completely and totally checked out in the moment. Everybody is standing up. Everybody's on just hanging on every word that Ricky Starks has, except for dude right here, just completely. I think he's probably just posting on his phone or whatever it is. But it's pretty funny. And it's great for Ricky Starks. I love this. It's awesome for him. But of course, this begs the big question. What are they going to call him? Because nowhere in WWE's website or material or anything, even though Vic Joseph was like, "We know who this is," Ricky Stark says, "You know who I am," but they're being very coy about the name. And again, on my phone, Fightful Select says that it was very, very, very intentional, not by accident, that they did not refer to him by name. So it does have that very Scott Hall vibe when he showed up on Nitro. He said, "You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here." And then they called him Scott Hall instead of Razor Ramon, because obviously they couldn't call him Razor Ramon. Because at that point, Jeff Farmer. Was it Jeff Farmer? No, Bognar. What was the name? Rick Bognar was the fake Razor Ramon. Anyways, and then it was like last week, I think, that WWE had filed a trademark for like a ton of names. Let's take a look at those names here. I think I have it here. This is a wildly inventive collection of names here. One stands out in particular, and we'll get to that in a second. But maybe, just maybe, Ricky's going to be one of these names right here. Now, exactly why they do this with him, I really don't know. Everybody else these days gets to keep their name. Penta's gone by variations of Penta, Pentagon Jr., Pentagon, Penta, Sarah Miro, El Seto, whatever it is. That was always a handful for me. Penta, El Seto, Miro. But look at these ones here. We've got Harley Riggins. Don't think that's going to be him. Aria Bennett. Probably not going to be him. Braxton Cole. These are the most AI-generated names. Mason Holiday. Summer Sorrell. This next one, I kind of want to be Ricky. Hayes Jameson. Absolute Hayes Jameson. That name is phenomenal. Tate Wilder. Jax Presley. Osiris Griffin. Draco Knox. This next one is my absolute favorite. It's Jordan Grace's favorite too because she already called dibs on it. Trill London, which I wonder if they're looking to pick up Drilla Maloney from Bullet Club, whose reportedly contract is up very soon. Trill London. And then Chantel Monroe. These are amazing and horrible names all at the same time. I mean, what's in a name anyways? But it's interesting that they're not just going, I guess maybe it's just an added layer of let's get people talking. So what do you guys think? What would be the possible reason after all this time of them bringing people in, keeping their name by and large? What would be the purpose of having him change his name at this point now? Do you think this is something that Ricky would want to do? Is this something that WWE would prefer? Are they going back to the thing where they're changing people's names? Are they sort of rolling with, maybe there's something to be said about having the same kind of philosophy that WCW had back in the day, strictly for nostalgia's sake. Maybe people might miss when people would come in and they just get a brand new name for no reason. For copyright reasons, but Ricky Starks owns his name. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting. And then maybe they just wanted to do it for a talking point to get one added layer of people talking about Ricky Starks being in NXT. In any event, I think it's really cool. NXT desperately needs more names there in that main event scene, even if he sticks around NXT for a short period of time. And this should give them a tremendous boost in the ratings as well. Not necessarily like they need it because they've been doing very well in the whole rating situation right now. Anyways, I tell you, it feels like the CW really got a hell of a deal there with NXT, given the performance and the ratings lately. So, good for Ricky Starks. So, yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think the next two free agents, Malachi Black and Miro, they just moved Zelina Vega over to SmackDown. So you gotta figure that maybe, just maybe, that's because they want Malachi Black there. You got the Wyatt Six there, so you got a couple of different spooky acts now. Alexa Bliss as well. Maybe they're gonna all be interacting in one big spooky stew. I don't know. And then Miro, where does he fit in? Where does he fit into the entire equation? I'm kind of curious what you guys have to think about that. Look, I think it's definitely sometime between now and WrestleMania, we're going to know. Wouldn't shock me to see Malachi even as soon as this coming Friday on SmackDown. But I guess time will tell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.